Alright, VAT, third video on this particular project. I've got, my doodling that I used a shape like this shape here to get all my drawing into that shape. And now I've got also a piece of a face that I've put a layer mask on and edited out a lot of that. So I've just got some of the facial features there kind of floating. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some things on top of that. So I'm going to add another layer. I want to show you just a couple of things you can do with some selection tools and being able to fill those selection tools with color. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to use the lasso tool. The lasso tool can be used as a tool that selects areas, right? But it also can work as a shape making tool because you can fill the selected area with a color. So you can go to Edit and go to Fill, and that gives you the ability to fill it with a couple different things. You can fill it with the foreground color, which is talking about your in the toolbar, it's talking about the foreground color, which is the color that's facing, that's closer to you. And then it's talking about the background color here. It's talking about the color that sits kind of behind. So you can fill it with either one of these colors that I have in my tray, either black or white. I can fill it with a color. If I say color, it'll give me the options of looking through some of those colors. I'm going to cancel out of there. I'm going to try to keep this kind of monochromatic, keep it black, so I'm going to fill it with black. All right, so here, and here's also another way you can fill it with black, gray, or white. So black, and then hit OK. And it's going to fill that with black. So you can make whatever shape you want with the lasso tool and then fill it like that. The other thing that you can do, I'm just going to make another eye real quick. The other thing that you can do with that then is I'm going to use a different lasso tool. I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool now and basically create on a different layer. I'm going to make a new layer, shuffle that kind of underneath some stuff here, underneath the face, like right there, underneath the face. Okay, so I can use the polygonal lasso tool to make whatever geometric shapes that I want as well. So that makes a selection that looks like that. And if I want to edit, fill, and fill it with, say, 50% gray. Okay, so now I've got that. And that is pretty cool. Deselect. And you can move these things around and add to them as you wish. What I'm hoping for is now like the layer with the eyes. I'm going to use a brush. I'm going to use a brush that is black. I'm going to use a brush that has 100% hardness. I'm going to go a little thicker than what I was using to do my bubbles. So like 20 pixels, let's say. I'm going to use a brush inside of, your guys's will be closed. It'll be like this. And click this little arrow here. It opens up the different types of brushes you have. And I prefer the hard round pressure size brush that looks like that. And what I'm going to do is then I'm going to do a little bit of drawing. Okay. I'm also going to do a little bit of work now up here. Say, I want a new layer. I think I'm going to do a new layer. So we're starting to get pretty complex with how many layers. It's a good idea to label layers. So you can do like triangles. Triangles. Yep, and this one could be, I don't have anything on there yet, but I'm going to do lines on this layer. And, on this layer we have black eyes. Just to keep myself kind of organized, to know what's what. What I wanted to do now is add some geometric sort of lines to these triangles, and there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of do this. One of the ways that you can go about doing this is you can use a brush or even the pencil tool to draw lines, and I'm going to draw lines that are probably like 9 pixels or something like that. Hardness 100%, opacity 100%, and I'm going to use white this time. Now I'm going to use my tablet, and I'm going to zoom in just a smidge, and I'm going to draw lines. I'm going to attempt to draw some white lines. So I've just been able to select a white paint, and now I'm going to use the brush tool or the pencil tool as a way to draw some lines. And since I'm using white, it should contrast the medium gray, and I should be able to draw some lines. The thing that I don't like about using the brush tool or the pen tool is that you do have, you know, that hand-drawn sort of look to it. And I like that sometimes, but on this one, on this part, I might not prefer that. So if I go back, and kind of erase that stuff, I want you to think about the possibilities if instead of using the brush or the pencil tool, you go to the shape tools and scroll down to where it says the line tool. The line tool is a great way to make perfectly straight lines. It has white, I filled it with a white fill color. And now I have the ability to tell it how thick the line should be. So I might tell it to be like 8 pixels wide. And then with your mouse, instead of using the hand-drawn stylus and tablet, you can start to make lines that are perfectly straight by dragging across and then letting go. And so this is a way that you can create some lines. Now, the only thing that you got to worry about is getting up close when you see like things like this that are imperfect. You can move the line over a little bit to get it to be perfect. But then look at, I'm running short on the other side of it. So it can be annoying in that way. Control T should allow you to, Control T is free transform, and you should be able to stretch that line out. If it's just a little bit of a imperfection that needs to be stretched out, then you can do that. But you got to kind of get in close and see what those things look like up close. So I'm going to go about using the line tool to make some cool triangle sort of stuff in the gray space. And that's kind of it for today. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you in class.